Good evening, everyone, and welcome to It Came From Tapas tonight. Tonight, we're going to do a planned episode like we did last time, where we just kind of did a deep dive into webtoon, just kind of search through stuff. But tonight, we want to do it with Tapas. Now, unfortunately, Varian has not yet decided to join me. I have no information as to why. I am hoping he has not been kidnapped or anything like that. So hopefully he'll pop in. If not, then I guess it's going to be just me flying solo for this sort of a half-hour journey into the world of Tapas, and just kind of get an idea of what it's like to log into the program and search through the different categories and essentially judge a book by its cover. We're going to be just checking out what there is to offer. Tapas does things a little bit differently than webtoon, so finding something to look requires you to judge a book by its cover. So we're going to get into that, and we're just going to look around a few and kind of give our first impressions and see where we go from there, and then we'll wrap things up. I'm going to go ahead and run our intro and be right back with an exploration of Tapas. All right, and we are here and we are ready to go. And It Came From Webtoon, starring me and only me, because I still have not received any word on whether or not the master of Indie Vault Radio is going to be joining us. Thank you, everyone who is listening in tonight. We appreciate each and every single one of you. And for those of you who are going to tune in on YouTube, take a look at the like button and maybe press it gently if you can, or smash it, whichever you prefer. Give us a like on there so that we can continue to grow the YouTubes and get this channel into profitability. So here we are in Tapas this time, with kind of a deep dive into what it all has to offer. We are in the science fiction genre. As you can see there, Dreaded Dinosaur Man is front and center here in the middle. I have scrolled way down trying to find my comic. Just wanted to see what it would take to just naturally, organically kind of stumble across the cover art for my book. And it's kind of down here near the bottom. But let's scroll up a bit to the top and take a look at the dashboard of Tapas. You've got all the different genres: romance, fantasy, action, drama, boy love, girl love, LGBT, comedy, slice of life, mystery, science fiction, which I'm currently in, gaming, horror, or all genres. And you can filter those by popular, trending, fresh, binge, Tapas originals. Well, hey there, I'm being joined by Mr. Randy Zim. How's it going, sir?
Not bad. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
I am thinking Varian probably either has computer or health problems.
That's what I was thinking as well, because normally he's good at getting right back to me. So we're going to hope that it's computer and not the latter.
Knock on wood. Yep.
So tonight we're doing something kind of like what we did a couple of weeks ago, where we looked through webtoon, just kind of saw what caught our eye and did a skim version of it. So we're doing that with Tapas. You ready to judge a book by its cover?
Are you talking to me, sir?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Sure.
And now tonight, since you are the editor-in-chief of Arrow Comics, it might be kind of interesting for you to give me, when we find something we want to look at, give me your take as an editor of a comic publisher.
Uh-huh.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Sure. What are we looking at all of these books?
Well, just kind of doing a dive into some genres and seeing what catches our eye. So if you see something that you want to take a look at, you can just stop me and let me know. I'll click on it. Or if I find something and click on it first.
I believe I had watched the first few minutes of Space Sweepers on Netflix. was
Yes.
a Korean movie about people that cleaned up things in space.
Yeah, that's a really, really good movie. And
Is that tied into this?
yes, it is.
Okay.
So let's take a look at that. I gotta go all the way to the beginning. Space Sweepers. There we go. Now we're kind of starting to see.
So now is this a movie tie-in, or is the movie based on the webtoon?
I'm not entirely sure.
The digital comic.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I would not be surprised if the webtoon came first.
Yeah. That's cool. That makes this Korean then?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of the webtoon stuff started in Korea.
Okay.
So Tapas is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking this is probably an adaptation of an already printed book, just kind of the way things are laid out. But
yeah, it looks a little stretched.
Yep.
Yeah, you can tell it was translated because the balloons are. There's a lot of space in those balloons sometimes. Oh, look at that. Kenji along the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's one of those movies I had to stop watching because I got work to do. And I'm like, oh, this movie's really awesome. I'm gonna have to stop watching it till I can get back to it.
Yeah, it's really good. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
A really endearing story.
I got right up to the point where they found the child and figured out what she was, and I'm like, holy crap, I gotta stop watching this. And I think it still had an hour and something to go, and I'm like, oh boy.
Oh yeah, there's quite an adventure after that.
It looks like there's a lot of story to this, if that's what it is. Yeah.
Let me bounce around a few episodes. Let's
jump
into. Now, this is one of those that's like a sponsored title on here, so a lot of them are locked, and you've got to use what's called ink on Tapas's system to buy episodes. So there is a monetization.
So this is available on Tapas.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I mentioned it was on the other platform before.
So the art-wise seems pretty simplistic. They're relying heavily on the coloring to kind of define the forms.
Yeah, the line weight on the inking isn't very thick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Characters are pretty simplistic.
Very stylized, though. It's not your typical anime look.
No, not at all.
Even for a Korean strip. It's got a unique style to it.
On the surface, what I've already looked at wouldn't really impress me. I think I've got a different view seeing as how I've seen the movie and coming into it.
That picture's not bad, though.
Oh, I want to learn more.
Yeah. Well, the comic is probably more of a slow burn because they have all the space that they, need in order to tell a story. And they can take that space. Or in a movie, you're in a real tight situation, 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of ground to cover. You've got to get it done.
So this one would be a lot of fun, especially if you're a fan of the movie, to dig in and maybe get more into the lore. It's pretty popular.
Yeah, I was not aware this was off of a manga at all.
7.2 thousand subscribers on it, so it's holding an audience.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Let's take a look. Let's pick something pick a genre. They've got all the genres up here: fantasy, action, drama, slice of life, science fiction. I don't see a superhero drama, which is odd because Webtoon, the platform there, has a specific superhero genre.
Okay. Well, then again, if most of this comes from overseas and away from the American audience, you're going to get the wide range of genres before you get superheroes.
Right.
A lot of that's very uniquely American, unless they've found a spin on it, like My Hero Academia.
Well, let's check out the action and see what's in action here. And you can see underneath each cover, there's how many likes. You can, it's like all the really popular stuff is kind of front loaded.
Okay.
And you have to do this long scroll down to see for new titles to start loading in.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. Huge library of work. That's why it's so hard for folks like myself to get noticed, because there's just a sea of it.
And in the midst of all of this manga, there's somebody doing a teddy bear. You scroll up, oh, there's Nikki.
Let's take a look at Nikki.
Is that action? It's under action, right?
Act
Look
1.
at that. Act 1. From 2016.
It's got a lot of views for
Heavy metal.
not much.
That must be the first panel of chapter 1, huh?
Okay, here's like 7 pages. All right, here we go.
So it's got a lot of views, huh?
It does have a lot of views. Really simplistic, cartoony.
Yeah.
I hope it's really funny, because it's not impressing me other than that.
Look at that. A little bit of gray to mix up the mess. Yeah, to break things up a little. Somebody just sent a message here. I think that was your other set of files hitting your... Yeah.
So this looks like it's just like a cute little...
This isn't action-oriented at all.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on.
But the bear's kind of cool. Ah! There, now we're starting to get into some action. And he rolls away. Don't go. Screams. Huh.
All right, Nikki, one more chance.
Nikki's missing out here. Oh, there's a giant monster, Godzilla-like monster.
There we go.
It looks like he's got a pouch, too, in front. Oh, that ties in. Sound effects with the comic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of sirens tonight.
Well, the artwork's getting better. Quality on it's jumping. Somebody watches some Dragon Ball. That must have a iconic influence.
Oh, for certain.
The hairstyles and the looks that they kind of, it's like a touchstone almost. Has to be, considering how big it is here in the States. That's how limited my manga experience is. I know Dragon Ball Z. All
right, well, let's see what else we got here. Maybe something in mystery.
No, I know Attack on Titan. I know Nausicaa, Akira, of course.
Vamp Sabbath. Art on that looks pretty nice.
Somebody's heavy into rock and roll, heavy metal, trying to do a combo of things. Do you better. Don't come back. Don't you dare come back without that first place.
So this is definitely another comic that's been translated, because it says here on the side, like episode 2 is pages 25 through 27.
Oh, so it's translated out of a manga? Oh, yeah. Look at the way the pages are constructed.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay, I got it.
Oh, I love the coloring in this.
Yes. Rotten Raven. Oh, that's awesome. I love the neons.
Yeah.
You go to print that on with CMYK, you're going to end up with a dull look to it. But,
Oh, yeah. And then,
here
that's
on the computer monitor,
that's one of the biggest mistakes that amateur comic book creators do is they don't plan their colors out in CMYK for print.
Yeah, amateur. Heck, I see a lot of mainstream stuff that are like that too.
Yeah.
Just look at it and go, oh. But well, after working in the palette for a while, you realize why a lot of these mainstream books are dark and gray. You know, because CMYK does have a tendency to dull things out.
It
RGB,
does.
you can hit these beautiful neon colors and make this stuff pop.
Yeah, this one definitely pops.
Do these great graduated tones and just add to the quality of your work. The little light influences there, the light sources bouncing off. I would think their colorist genuinely saves this. This might be done in like a studio setup too.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, a little bit of Scott Pilgrim influence, it feels like.
Great expression. Look at that. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
nice drawing.
Yeah, it is. I love over exaggeration. You're in such an expressive art form, it ought to be used to the fullest extent.
Heck yeah.
Girl sticking her tongue up. Can't fucking hear you. That's a good
That's
shot.
kind of neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
A great way to single out the main character, and
so that's now that's showing quality right there.
heck yeah. So this one, Vamp Sabbath,
this
definitely deserves its views.
Yeah, in every facet, everybody working on this book knows what they're doing. That's sweet. They added the musical notes and neon there. They're fluorescent.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Just love that.
Very cool. Very cool. Just you can jump around a little bit and see what's developing. As one of the things Barry and I have noticed is that in a lot of these, you'll see the progression of the team involved or the solo creator making it, and you'll see a lot of like the art getting better, the story getting better.
Yeah, you see that one in alternative and independent comics here in the States as well. The more you do, the better you get. It's just that simple.
Look at that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Smacking him over the head with a bottle.
Good use of action there. Nice blur.
Yeah. Very cool. Looks like we've got a comment from the man himself, Varian.
That art is badass.
Yeah.
Varian, are you not up? Computer not up? I don't know. The format kind of bothers me. For this one, the art looks good though. Yeah, it's in a page by page format.
Beautiful stuff though. I could keep looking at all.
Yeah, that's nice.
We know this is definitely pretty good.
That's Vamp Sabbath.
Vamp Sabbath, yeah.
Over on Tapas.
And that's in the mystery section, which is kind of interesting. So makes me wonder what the how the story goes.
Scroll down a little bit in your 100 results there. See what else is up there. Don't be afraid to dip into a romance book. Let's take a look and see what that looks like.
All right. Well, you tell me which one you want to dip into.
What's wrong with you, Duke?
What's wrong with you, Duke?
We have to be careful here also, right? Is there any limits on nudity and content?
That all gets under the mature rating here. So I haven't been clicking on that. Those get separated out in their own category.
We don't want any Oh, okay, good. So we're all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Noel Montbeliard.
No, it's Montbeliard.
Montbeliard? Yep.
There we go.
Beautiful drawing.
It's very solid. Are those roses photoshopped?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. Throwing some roses. Okay. That's good though. You know, sometimes photorealism. Works. There we go. That's a nice shot too. That's a nice shot.
So we're getting some big character introductions.
And a fwa.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Who
He isn't.
isn't?
So she put him under a spell, and it's not going right. Okay.
I'm almost thinking this is. Oh yeah, this is a teaser that you're looking at, isn't it? I
Yep.
was going to say this has a feel of a trailer to it. Story by who? Eddie. Story and art by Eddie. Oh, and there's an original novel, translation, typesetting,
Wow.
quality control.
A lot of people work on it.
Yeah.
Well, 2.9 million views and 81,000 subscribers. I'd say this is one of their flagship things.
And I was going to say it's so hard for like an American audience to wrap their head around the fact that here's a romance comic that gets millions of views. You know, where anywhere else but here in the States, this is just commonplace. And, you know, this is really where soap opera is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as far as being that kind of a medium. Comics can be anything.
They go way down because the likes not always, but tend to just to lower as you get scrolling down. So I want to find something that's more of an independent.
Well, that jumps off of the it gets away from the studio stuff. It gets away from the adaptation material.
Mm-hmm.
Most populars. You have a lot of people or groups here doing a lot of work. Look at Mouse Cat up there. That's cute.
Okay. All the episodes are titled Update.
Yeah. Mouse and cat. That's a lot more simplistic. A little bit more what is that 3D that looks like a 3D architectural rendering.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 3D studio thing. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's a little too clean.
Yeah. Somebody's hungry. Don't need to translate that. I see the growl. Oh, that was a quick update. Is that in Spanish?
I think so.
Gatos, yeah, that's cat.
See, I don't even need to be able to read the language. I can tell that's undercooked rice.
Yeah.
Thinking of cooking it. Let's jump down to update 16. Looks like they're well into their relationship.
Uh-oh. What's that on her hands? Never mind. Keep it scrolling. Nom, 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 nom. Okay.
Yeah.
Not much you can say about that.
Oh, drama.
villains up above that almost look like quick influence from Golgo 13. I know that one. I collect that. I collected that for quite a while.
That was definitely a good series.
Oh, it's fantastic. Love that series. Love the character. I like characters like that anyway.
Now, one of the things I really do like about Tapas is it makes you do this cover art stuff. This doesn't happen in webtoon. So it surprises me when some people, they don't really push that envelope much, like this one here.
Yeah. I was looking at your Dawn of the Dead or the Day of the Dead one over to your far left, up and to your left, with the nope down to your left, right there. That looked pretty hot. Reign of Cranes. It says Amital.
The town where the second chances are a priority and death never was a problem. Not at least since a little Katrina boy appears in his place, full of creatures and entities.
Oh, there you go. It's got a painted look to it.
It's nice art.
Oh no, not them again. Again, this is off manga. The pages are pretty standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is chapter 1, page 5. Chapter 1, page 6.
A middle. Yeah. The
art is pleasant to look at, though. Good use of color and lighting.
I was just going to say that. Looks good. Obviously, professional work.
Mm-hmm.
This gets a lot of views. 413,000. Oh no.
418.
418K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6.7K subscribers. Yeah, there you go. It's very professional work.
I want more to scroll through, though, with this stuff.
Yeah. It's hard to do that, though, if you're doing it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
You almost, it's like, well, yeah, that's obvious there. They're just doing one page at a time.
Mm-hmm.
They're not taking advantage of the format as much as displaying the digital comic. We'll go up a little. A little more. Right there, male lead's dad. That was bright and caught my attention. I married the male lead. Oh, the male lead's dad.
In my real life, I was happy fawning over Abel Louvermont.
Are we still in drama here?
This is fantasy and romance.
Okay.
The main character from my favorite book, Persona, but after a fateful car accident, I woke up in Persona. But when Abel is still a precious child. Now, as Asha Heathcliff, I can fangirl adorable Abel up close. Squee! I'll do anything I can to make sure he's taken care of and gets what he needs. And somehow that means I'm engaged to his dad. It seems like a very contrived plot, but I don't know, it might be cool. A little heart doing the same.
Yeah. And it's not your standard cartoon heart. It looks like a real
one, yeah.
Yeah, cartoon of a real art. Yeah. Lady Yasha. Yasha? Such pointed chins.
Very elaborate costuming, too.
It's just a lot more stretched out A lot more digitally
Mm-hmm.
oriented.
Put a lot more work into breaking it up.
Yeah. Again, though, color use is great.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's got 1 million views.
Must be popular.
Must be.
Yep. Well, the cover artwork on it caught my eyes. So, yeah.
It did its job. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom here. Let's see what's dead last.
Sink it.
There's a lot of stuff in fantasy or romance categories on webtoon. Yeah. It's like that's the main audience that's reading digital comics. Is they're not looking for superheroes. They're not looking for science fiction and horror. They're looking for things they can connect with more, like romance.
And again, that could also be an American perception, because those retail shops and the mainstream comics have all aimed at a male audience for so long. The female readership has to go somewhere. You know, if they want to be entertained by comics, and if they don't want to have to read a book from back to front, I would imagine digital's definitely the way to go.
This kind of caught my eye because it's a sports thing. I haven't seen a lot. This is like the first sports thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Here. Yeah.
And that's odd too, because there's all sorts of comics. It's a well done piece.
Eat, sleep, practice. Lena knows nothing but sports. One day she meets an annoying boy playing on her secret court.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's nice. Nice little sequence of action there.
Yeah. Using the digital.
Still got bounce.
Format. Nice angle right there. That was good. Good jump. That worked really well with the scrolling down.
Yeah, that's good. That's where the advantage is in this format, is being able to do things like that. Here's the annoying boy. Please don't make this weird. He switched balls on her. He tries to take her ball. Let's play for it. Cute.
That's cool. And that's a large portion of story too, compared to what we were looking at before. Plus, there's some awesome movement there and great use of the digital format.
That's by 9D.
It's got 153 subscribers. It's definitely not appreciated enough.
Yeah, definitely not.
Compared to the other strips that we saw. They have a Patreon. Now, is this, how can you tell if this is an independent person or if this is done by a company? Because this is very professional looking. It must be closer to an independent group if they have a Patreon. They're trying to drum up money to sustain doing it.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say this is probably a 1 or 2 person team at the most.
Oh, well, there's a lot of talent there then.
Yeah, this is really nice.
A lot of inventive thinking.
And it's one of those. It's not the typical story type we're starting out with. So I'm not interested in romance comics, but I could find myself being more interested in this.
Yeah, because they're incredibly competent storytellers, and they know how to use the format.
Skip down a little bit.
That's part of the fun at looking at the formats that you might not normally read when you're looking for the quality of the work. Go into those I love that. If you scroll up a little bit, the out of focus look back in the background. It's amazing. The blur there, really great.
That's something that only digital tools give us, which is pretty cool. Couldn't have done that back in the day. You know, you could maybe, like, instead of draw lines, draw cross hatches, but you're not going to get the same effect of the depth.
Yeah, that really looks photo. You have a lot more of a photogenic look to it when you can fade out like that or blur out like that. There's no guardrail on those steps.
Some of those look a little auto trace to me.
Could have been. This looks like it was done a little faster. How far down are you?
This is episode 5.
Okay.
So probably a lot more story development is going on from here. Good introduction, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this one's called Into the Paint, and we're at our time limit basically for this show, so we'll wrap up just recommending this one if you're into to romance and you like basketball. I mean, it seems like a pretty cool comic and a lot different than the other stuff we looked at.
Yeah, if you're into working in this format, this is really a good one to take a close look at. And like I said, if you get outside of your comfort zone and your the format that you enjoy, and if it's something that pulls you in, then you know that there's a level of quality there that you need to study and understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
9 ducks. So it could be 9 people then involved in it.
Or maybe it's 9 actual ducks.
I doubt that it's ducks.
Yeah, probably pronounced 9 dieu. Maybe maybe French, because the street I'm on ends in an X too, and it's a dieu. Dieu. Give this one some love, guys. It's got 280 likes, 153 subscribers. Looks like it's fairly regularly updated. Might be a good one to get into. Anyway, thank you for joining us.
Now, to get into Tapas, is there a fee?
No, there's no fee. They have a currency of their own called ink, and as you read stories and stuff, you get ink, and you can use that to unlock premium ones that are locked against you, or you can buy ink. That's the payment model.
And they have more professional strips higher up in the ink zones.
Yes, like the one we first looked at, the Space Sweepers, you could only read like the first 10 before you have to start using ink to read more volumes.
Gotcha.
Because that's one of their flagship titles, I guess.
Yeah. That's a way to generate some capital.
Yeah. And it does, it's far easier to start getting paid on Tapas than it is to get paid on Webtoon.
Ah, okay.
So, and then it's probably because of that system. And they also do ad revenues too. So ad sharing. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of It Came from Webtoon. Thank you for joining us for this little dive into Tapas. Now, tomorrow night is Indie Volt Live Wire, Randy. We got some hijinks planned, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I couldn't tell you what they are, but I'm sure they'll be there.
Yeah. Always great questions.
Some high jinks and some low jinks.
Yep. And we'll obviously take a look at some campaigns, which is always a good time. And then Geekasm comes back on Wednesday. And then Thursday morning, you bring back the Breakfast Buzz.
Yes. Yep. And Varian and Daphne Leish will be there for that. And then Sunday morning is the Sunday Funnies, where we talk about the lighter and more whimsical side of funny books.
Yep. Lots to look on to. Thank you again for joining us on the Indie Vault Network. This has been It Came from Webtoon.
Take care.